evening and welcome. It's a bright weekend, but the first week in June began on a rather sad note nationwide as the Imo State Police Command revealed that a former special advisor on politics to former President Goodluck Jonathan, Mr. Hamid Gulak, was shot dead by unknown gunmen in Owerri, the state capital, on Sunday while he was on his way to Abuja. Reacting, President Muhammadu Buhari, in a statement released by the presidency, has vowed that perpetrators of the act will not go unpunished. And against the backdrop of reports like this, Governor Ishaku of Taraba State has warned that Nigeria is sliding into anarchy, which is our first topic today. And secondly, the CBN says foreign reserves dropped by $640 million in May 2021. Of course, sounds familiar as something Jide has echoed on the program today. No one says it like Jide. Welcome to the program. I am Bukola Samuel Wenimo. We'll be right back. We're glad you could join us on yet another edition of the program Issues with Jide, reaching you on TBC's YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us, and BKO is ready. You're welcome, BKO.
Thank you so much.
Like a sore thumb. In fact, this is worse than the popular weekly that refuses to go away. Insecurity is our first topic yet again, and it appears as if there are no more political considerations, because it takes a lot for Governor Ishaku to come out and say Nigeria is sliding into anarchy. BKO, what are your thoughts?
Yes, and his home state is one of the most buffeted by security challenges. On the streets of Jalingo, kidnappers move around. They go into people's homes to yank them off their beds and take them away. And recently there was even the case of a local government chairman that was attacked, and his own brother was trying to ensure that the kidnappers did not escape with him, was killed. So they made sure that they killed their victims when it became clear that they will not be able to get away from the scene. They move around sometimes in dozens, heavily armed, moving from house to house, raiding people, and kidnapping people. So his home state is well known for its peculiar security challenges, the Chief Jukun unending war, in the Wukari area of Taraba State. So he knows where the shoe pinches. And when he said that it's such a shame that the armed forces of our country could not flush out insurgents, I agree absolutely with him. Because the nonsense that that bandits are doing in Niger State should worry any sensible Nigerian. How can bandits be moving around in broad daylight, be operating not at night, not even in the evening, operating in daytime, kidnapping pupils? During the course of last week, vigilantes stood up to them, stopped them from taking away the cattle that they had rustled. And the vigilantes chaperoned the cattle to the police station. The following day, these bandits returned, attacked the police station, sacked it, and took the cattle away. They also occupied the Tegina-Mina highway. For hours, people could not move. Now, if in a state so close to the federal capital, this could be happening, and we've not been able to put an end to this nonsense, it suggests that something is really wrong. It would suggest that we have a big problem that we continue to underrate. And if we do not apply the right measures to solving the security problems that we have, it will stay with us for so long and probably bring down the country. Everyone is talking about how Nigeria is slipping inexorably into what looks like a failed state. A failed state is that state where you have all kinds of armed groups, everyone being territorial, taking charge of his own territory, ensuring that not even the armed forces can dislodge it from his territory. We're talking about Somalia, or that part of Afghanistan where the Taliban is strong. That's what it's looking like for us now. And I've been told by a lot of my friends and sources in the north that, look, we are even underrating this problem, that they live with bandits. Bandits operate with reckless abandon in their communities. A lot of those attacks on innocent people don't even get reported. In Sokoto, for example, local governments like Isa, Tureta, Rabah, which is the birthplace of the late Ahmadu Bello, the premier of Northern Region, they are busting at the seams with bandits, running riot, showing up on market days, attacking people, robbing people of their money, of their hand belongings and all that. And you saw what happened, even with the students of Greenfield University that were kidnapped. After about 40 days in captivity, the parents had to fork out about 193 million before these guys were released. They first paid 95 million, only to be told that, look, there's a change in leadership of this bandit group. Now you have to pay yet again. So they had to pay more. Some of them sold their houses. There's a particular parent who sold his house. Now is waiting for the person who bought the house to take possession of the house. He will now go with the little money that he has left. He will now go and rent a place. That's how bad it is in our country. People are selling all that they've got to free their loved ones from the clutches of kidnappers, and then returning to how do I describe? Not returning really, embracing reluctantly a life of ruins. Because if you work for 35 years and all that you saved, you are now compelled to sell all that you saved, and the houses that you built, you are with your hard-earned income, you are forced to sell just so that you can save your have your children held by bandits returned to you. Then after that, how do you get on with life? A lot of them will die of agony, frustration, mental agony, even dementia will set in. That is how bad our situation is. And the government needs to know that this problem is as bad as a lot of us are talking about. The people lie to Mr. President. The president needs to put them aside now and realize that he's presiding over a country that is being gradually Afghanistanized. So he's got to do something.
Obviously, there's this huge security situation on our hands, even though the government may be in denial. Is this time to revisit the possibilities in those regional security initiatives and perhaps set aside the political considerations that trailed the onset of Amotekun, which was lauded as a great initiative and solution to the problem of insecurity at the time?
I think that in the fullness of time, every state will need its own Amotekun. In the east, they now have a Bubeagu, although the governors were obviously sleeping on duty, so they are coming up with a Bubeagu at a time when it seems too late. But a Bubeagu will still play its own role. But as we have seen in Ebonyi, the killings have not stopped. The governor goes to the tertiary medical facility and begins to shed tears. This is not the time to shed tears. This is the time to take the right measures. You wasted so much time before deciding at the point when the Southwest was talking about Amotekun and planning for it. The East should have been planning for something similar. But those governors just sat there doing nothing, and they allowed the security problem to degenerate. Now, talking about Obiagu, at the time when the birds had flown. So what can Obiagu do at this time? You can see that in Imo State, killers are roaming about the streets. A lot of us felt that the best way to escape being killed on our roads is to simply go and get into an aircraft, go to your destinations by air. But Ahmed Gulak tried to do that, and he was killed on the way to the airport. So no one is safe anymore. And even the governors themselves must know that they are not safe. A time will come that they will go for one of those governors. As you've seen in Igbo, they set ablaze the home of their governor. What would have happened if he was at home at the time? Would they have spared him? So it's a terrible situation that we find ourselves, and we just hope that things will improve.
Hopefully. CBN, our next topic, CBN appears to only be echoing what you have said last week about a drop in foreign reserves.
Yes, it's inevitable that our foreign reserves will drop because of certain actions and inactions. You have a situation in which the Apex Bank keeps intervening in the foreign exchange market. They want to keep the exchange rate stable. The way to do that is to try to stock the market with foreign exchange. So you are dipping into the reserve, pushing more dollars into the foreign exchange market. Because when you don't have enough supply of foreign exchange, you put so much strain, so much pressure on the naira. So your currency inevitably gets devalued. But from what we have seen, even from the year 2020, when we had to devalue our currency on a number of occasions, we still didn't succeed in achieving our aim of shoring up the naira against the dollar. And that's what is happening at this time now. We've devalued our currency. It's now in the region of 411 to the dollar in the official market.
As a matter of fact, against the pound is even higher.
The official market is the unrealistic market in my view, because what is closest to reality is the parallel market. Nobody is going to sell the dollar to you at 400 which is the official rate. Now, as I said last week, the market will respond to that devaluation, and the market has responded. Some people have had to buy the dollar at 494, 495, and in some cases 500 to a dollar. Government foreign exchange policies are discouraging investors from investing in our country. And once you have this kind of situation, then the inflows are drying up, the inflows are not coming in as they should. You are not going to be able to earn enough foreign exchange. You are not going to have enough foreign exchange reserve, for your needs or to make your currency stronger. In 2019, around November 2019, we were on like $40 billion, the foreign exchange reserves. But since the beginning of this year, it's been declining. And in the month of May, it declined by $640 billion. So these declines are not helpful, because you tell yourself, despite the efforts that we are making to get migrants, as these diaspora people are called, to send in dollars, we are offering 5 naira to every dollar that is repatriated home by diaspora Nigerians, Nigerians abroad. But in spite of those measures, it keeps going down. In spite of even rise in crude oil prices earlier in the year, we still continue to experience decline in our reserves. So that's to tell you that the measures being adopted by the CBN are not working. And I've said before, when the CBN governor inherited this tool, it was 185 to a dollar. It's been there now for about 6 years or so. It's now
maintained by the Buhari presidency.
Yes, it's now in the region of 494.
And
sometime last week.
In spite of this, the presidency is saying that the naira is in the best of health, given the current realities. That's from the media aide Garba Shehu. What are your thoughts on this?
Garba Shehu's job is to paint a rosy picture. We paint the picture of El Dorado to Nigerians. I don't think any serious person will take what he has said seriously, because one of my teachers told me that education encourages disputation. Someone tells you what you are wearing is black, but you know it's not black. Garba Shehu wants the world to believe lies. But the world has moved on. We are in an age when you can use the internet to discover whether he actually said the truth or not. I just spoke about the exchange rate at the time when the CBN governor took over. At the time when President Buhari took over, the inflationary rate was 8.7. It was single-digit inflation rate at that time. Today, it's 18.2. In fact, it had been consistently going up until last month. Now, that is fact provided by the NBS itself. Will he go and argue with them? The fact that he is entitled to his opinion, but he's not entitled to his own facts. Because what he has come up with is absolute falsehood. And in his heart, he knows that. Garba Shehu, in the inner recesses of his heart, he knows that he has lied to Nigerians. But then, what do you expect him to do? If he comes out to tell us the truth and he paints a grim picture of our country, the next day is gone. So you rather say what the president and other people will be happy to hear.
To hear.
But History has a way of judging such people harshly. By the time after 2023, when he tries to return to life as a normal person, like the rest of us, Nigerians are very unforgiving and they don't forget easily. That is when the wages of the lies that he told Nigerians will be exacted on him. It's just, this is not doomsday prophecy. This is what I'm sure will happen. And you lie consistently to your people, a time will come when they will show their anger towards you for those lies. So you can say the Naira is so strong at this time. Was there ever a time when the Naira was this low? I'm a historian, for God's sake. I may not be an economist. I'm a historian. He's not going to teach me history. And this is history that we are talking about. There was a time when our currency was stronger than the dollar. Around 1983, 84, our currency was stronger than the dollar.
And the dollar?
Yes. So what are we talking about? Even when we had Abacha as president, the exchange rate was less than 50 naira to a dollar. Around 40 or something. With Abacha. The much hated Abacha.
In the late 90s.
Yes. So that's the thing. So progressively, we've been going steadily down, and we are still going down. Instead of addressing the problem, we are feeding our people with a diet of lies. It won't solve any problem.
So like BK, we all must be students of history, and history is in action. Our current COVID reality is enough reason for the presidency to say that, given those facts, Naira is in the best of health. Google is our friend. We must continue to study and weigh what is being said against what is true. That's all we have for you on Issues with Jide today. Thank you for watching. We urge you to join us again same time next week. In the meantime, if you have not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button for Issues with Jide. It is TVC News Nigeria, and we are continuing the conversation on all our social media platforms at TVC News NG for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you very much for being a part of the program. Next week, which is Democracy Day, will be coming to you live. So come along and be a part of it. I am Bukola Samuel Wemimo. Bye for now.